Fantasy Knockout Fantasy Football Show. Today is Friday, September 8th. You can follow the show on social media at Fantasy Knockout. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And we got a goal this year, 1,000 subscribers for the YouTube channel. Let's get it. I'm excited for today's show. It is the Week 1 must-start players, the ranking show. Who are we feeling confident about this week? Who are we worried about? Quick question for you guys. Have you guys signed up to become a Knockout member? Doing it through the Patreon system. It's $5 a month to support the show. And you get perks. The perks are flex rankings. So if you can't figure out who to start between running backs and receivers, I have overall flex rankings there for you. You also have access to a trade chart, which is a player value to help you understand the values of players throughout the season. Almost kind of like a rest of season rankings a little bit. And then there's also priority questions and answers. So go ahead and support the show. Sign up to become a Patreon and become that Knockout member. Let's talk some news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the news.
News with views. All right, so tight end Travis Kelce, he hyperextended his knee in practice, and we all know he missed Thursday night's game, which is a bummer. And boy, was he missed because KC ended up losing. Wow. Wide receiver Terry McLaurin from Washington, he is considered day-to-day with his turf toe. I think he's going to be good to go this week. I know he logged into practice. We'll talk more about the injuries in tomorrow's show, next show, the injury report. And then also running back Zach Moss from Indianapolis. He returned to practice, which is pretty amazing since he had broken his arm just a few weeks ago. So glad to see him back. But this is just going to get more frustrating in Indianapolis with Taylor on the POP. And we just don't know what the committee is. I know Anthony Richardson's the quarterback, and I joke that, yeah, he's the starting running back, right? Ha, ha, ha. Yes, he's going to run a lot more. You got Deion Jackson there, Zach Moss, and the rookie Evan Hull. Going to be a crapshoot on who to start. So let's get into the main event. Main event, the must-start players for Week 1. If I don't talk specifically about a player you are looking for, please check out the latest rankings at fantasyknockout.com. Real quick, the show schedule going forward. So Tuesday shows are going to be the waiver pickups. Who do we need to add and drop to our teams? We'll go over those. Streams of the week, stuff like that. Then Friday show, like today, we're going to go over the rankings of who to start over whom. And then Saturday show is going to be the injury report, who's in and who's out in case we have to make last-minute adjustments. We're going to talk confidence levels. I got 3 categories. So I'm going to run through my list of players, my confidence level, and starting them to finish in like top 12 for quarterbacks and tight ends, the top 24 to finish as running backs and receivers. We'll also do defenses this year. So there's going to be 3 categories. It's going to be start with confidence, which is going to be, obvious. Those guys are your studs. Then there's going to be the consider if needed. These guys are going to be on the hinge, right there of RB1, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, more range. And then there's the bench if possible. I'm not too confident in starting those to become top, at their position, but they will be flex worthy and stuff like that. And so we'll go over those. Again, this is my suggestion on how these players will finish this week. I will get some of these wrong, and I will get a lot of them correct. But, again, you don't have to listen to my suggestion. If you feel more convicted on a certain player, go with your thought. Go with your gut. Trust yourself. I'm here just to be helpful. It's not the end-all, be-all ranking show. You know what I mean? So, I will, like I said, I will get some of them wrong. That's okay. Go with your gut. I'm here to help. But the goal of this is to cover more players so so that everyone has kind of that good idea of who to start over whom. Anyways, let's get right into it. Quarterbacks, confidence level in becoming that top 12 quarterback for the week. Start with confidence group. Number 1, Lamar Jackson from Baltimore. Number 2 is Pat Mahomes from Kansas City. Yes, he's crossed out because he's already played, but I wanted to leave him in there because last year some of you guys were questioning why certain players weren't on these shows because they had already played. I'll go ahead and put them in there, but we'll cross them out so that you guys know you can't start them because they've already been started. Jalen Hurts is next out of Philly. Justin Herbert from the Chargers. Josh Allen from Buffalo. Justin Fields from Chicago. Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville. And Joe Burrow from Cincinnati to wrap up to start with confidence level 100 to 75%. The next group is going to be consider if needed, the 75 to 50% confidence level. We're going to go with Kirk Cousins out of Minnesota, Geno Smith from Seattle, Tua Tagovailoa out of Miami, and Dak Prescott out of Dallas. The next group is going to be the 50 to 40%, still in the same group, consider if needed. Deshaun Watson out of Cleveland, Daniel Jones from the Giants, Jared Goff from Detroit. Yes, he's played, crossed out, right? We're getting it? Yay. And then Russell Wilson out of Denver. The last group is going to be the bench, if possible, the 40 to 30% confidence level. Anthony Richardson out of Indianapolis, Derek Carr from New Orleans, Sam Howell from Washington, Jordan Love out of Green Bay, who's over Aaron Rodgers. Yes, more confident in Jordan Love to start the year than Rodgers, and Rodgers to finish off this group. The last one is going to be the under 30%, not too confident in becoming that top 12 quarterback for the week. But that will roll with Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, Matthew Stafford from the Rams, Baker Mayfield from Tampa Bay, and Brock Purdy from San Francisco. All right, some running backs. The confidence level becoming a top 24 running back for the week. Start with confidence group, 100 to 75%. Austin Eckler from the Chargers, Christian McCaffrey from San Francisco, Nick Chubb from Cleveland, Tony Pollard out of Dallas, Bijan Robinson, the rookie out of Atlanta, Saquon Barkley from the Giants, Derrick Henry from Tennessee, Joe Mixon from Cincinnati, and Josh Jacobs from Las Vegas. The next group is going to be considered if needed, the 75 to 50% level in becoming that top 24 back. Travis Etienne starts it off out of Jacksonville, Ramondre Stevenson out of New England, Kenneth Walker out of Seattle, Aaron Jones from Green Bay, Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie from Detroit, crossed out because he played, and he looked pretty damn good. J.K. Dobbins from Baltimore, Alexander Madison from Minnesota, Cam Akers from the Rams, Najee Harris from Pittsburgh. Now, still in the same group, the next level is going to be the 50 to 40%. We're going to go with Rachaad White from Tampa Bay, David Montgomery out of Detroit, Miles Sanders from Carolina, James Conner from Arizona, Dameon Pierce out of Houston, Isaiah Pacheco from Kansas City, Raheem Mostert out of Miami, Jamal Williams from New Orleans, James Cook from Buffalo. Now, the bench, if possible, this is the 40 to 30% range. Brian Robinson from Washington, Javonte Williams out of Denver, Khalil Herbert from Chicago, Breece Hall out of New York, Samaje Perine out of Denver, Antonio Gibson from Washington, Dalvin Cook from the Jets, DeAndre Swift from Philly, A.J. Dillon out of Green Bay. And then the last group is going to be the under 30%. Jerick McKinnon from Kansas City, Zach Charbonnet out of Seattle, Tyler Algier out of Atlanta, Damian Harris from Buffalo, Jalen Warren out of Pittsburgh, Deion Jackson from Indianapolis, Elijah Mitchell from San Francisco, Rashad Penny out of Philly, and Ezekiel Elliott from the New England Patriots. All right, the wide receivers. Confidence level becoming that top 24 wide receiver for this week. Start with confidence group, 100 to 85%. Start the studs. Here we go. Justin Jefferson from Minnesota, Jamar Chase from Cincinnati, Tyreek Hill out of Miami, Amon-Ra St. Brown from Detroit. He looked great. CeeDee Lamb from Dallas, Stephon Diggs from Buffalo, A.J. Brown out of Philly, and Devontae Adams from Las Vegas. Now, still start with confidence, but 85 to 75%, just a little tad, the next tier down, I guess, right? Jalen Waddle from Miami, Keenan Allen out of the Los Angeles Chargers, Garrett Wilson from the Jets, Chris Olave from New Orleans, DK Metcalf out of Seattle, T. Higgins from Cincinnati, Calvin Ridley out of Jacksonville, and Devontae Smith from Philly. The next group is consider if needed, 75 to 50%. Amari Cooper out of Cleveland, Deebo Samuel out of San Francisco, Tyler Lockett from Seattle, Mike Williams from the Chargers, Chris Godwin from Tampa Bay, DeAndre Hopkins in Tennessee, DJ Moore from Chicago, Drake London out of Atlanta, and Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. Still the same group, but 50 to 40%, kind of that fringe wide receiver 2-ish. Jahan Dotson from Washington, Christian Kirk out of Jacksonville, Brandon Ayuk from San Francisco, Cortland Sutton out of Denver, Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh, Michael Pittman from Indy, George Pickens from Pittsburgh, and Brandon Cooks from Dallas. Now, the last group is going to be the bench if possible. These guys are going to be more flex-worthy guys. The 40 to 30% confidence level group. Michael Thomas out of New Orleans, Marquise Brown from Arizona, Gabe Davis from Buffalo, Sky Moore from Kansas City, Terry McLaurin out of Washington, Jordan Addison from Minnesota, Juju Smith-Schuster out of New England, Van Jefferson from the Rams, Treylon Burks from Tennessee. Now, the under 30% guys, we're going to go with Zay Flowers from Baltimore, Jacoby Myers from Las Vegas, Elijah Moore from Cleveland, Alan Lazard from the Jets, Odell Beckham Jr. from Baltimore, Nico Collins out of Houston, Zay Jones from Jacksonville, and Rashad Bateman from Baltimore. All right, the tight ends, confidence level becoming a top tight end, top 12 tight end for the week. Start with confidence, 100 to 75%. Mark Andrews from Baltimore, TJ Hawkinson from Minnesota, Darren Waller from the Giants, Dallas Goedert out of Philly, and George Kittle from San Francisco. Consider, if needed, the 70 to 30%. Evan Ingram from Jacksonville, Tyler Higbee from the Rams, Kyle Pitts from Atlanta, David Njoku out of Cleveland, Pat Freiermuth, the Muth from Pittsburgh, Chigakonko from Tennessee, Juan Johnson out of New Orleans, Sam Laporta from Detroit, and Dalton Schultz out of Houston. The bench, if possible, these guys are going to be that fringe end of the tight end one group. Gerald Everett from the Chargers, Cole Kmet out of Chicago, Irv Smith Jr. from Cincinnati, Greg Dulcich from Denver, Dalton Kincaid out of Buffalo, Jake Ferguson from Dallas, Hayden Hurst out of Carolina, and Hunter Henry from New England. All right, the defenses. Confidence level will become a top 12 defense for the week. And thank you for the suggestions last year about adding defenses as a group. Here we go. The start with confidence group, 100 to 75%. We got the Washington Commanders, the Baltimore Ravens, Minnesota Vikings, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Philadelphia Eagles. The next group is consider, if needed, the 70 to 30% range. Atlanta Falcons, Denver Broncos, the Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Dallas Cowboys. The bench, if possible, this is the under 30% in becoming that top defensive group. The Cincinnati Bengals, the Chicago Bears, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Buffalo Bills, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Cleveland Browns. And again, I don't like kickers, so I don't rank kickers. If you need kicker rankings, I would suggest go to like Fantasy Pros. They have a good ranking system there. I am one of the experts on their system as well. I just don't do kickers just because I'm not a fan of them. I know a lot of you guys play with kickers, so I apologize, but I'm not going to do kickers. If you guys are curious about those, find another analyst that'll help you out with that. So, all right, guys, please leave a comment. Give me that thumbs up, the thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think of these rankings. The goal here is to help you win each week and get you that championship. #dominate your league. If news does come out later after I recorded this show, we will make adjustments to the rankings. Also, I will do a final update to my rankings on the website Sunday morning, so check those out at fantasyknockout.com, and you can see those there. Also, you can sign up to become that Fantasy Knockout member, support the show with the Patreon system. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. The next show is going to be tomorrow, the Week 1 injury report, who's in and who's out. Thank you for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Please leave that rating and review. It really helps me out. All right, till next time. See ya.